Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Can I steal that, Dirt?
Yeah. From Randy Savage?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Oh yeah! Welcome everybody to the show. Oh yeah! Welcome. Get ready to unload, because that's what we're here. Unload on us. Wait, I don't know if that's what I mean.
I don't know if that's what anybody means.
Hi, I'm Owen Money, and that my buddy over there is Dirt McCoy, the real
Yes,
McCoy.
sir. Yes, sir.
This is Owen and Dirt's Pop Culture Radio. We're going to talk some pop culture and some real life shit. And what I used to say way back in the beginning when I was a sad sack of shit who, got me here. So I'm glad I was him, This is what your dads talk about. Yeah, if you're ever wondering, because we have like a young listenership, don't we?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because I looked at something on Hulu, and most of the people that watch on Hulu are like, I'm thinking like, 20, like they're like just a little bit younger than me. Then I start thinking, no, they're 2 decades younger than me. Mm-hmm. These people in their 20s. God, I saw this meme going around, this meme saying like Generation X is if you're born in the 80s or the millennials, I guess. That's not I'm Generation X. If you're born in the 80s, you've lived through this many decades, this many millenniums, and this. When you start counting like that, I've lived a fucking long time.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
You too. You born in the what? 70s?
78.
78, 79 for me. So we lived through the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, and the 220s. So that's 7 decades we've lived in.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy to feel.
Is it 7? Yeah, 70, 80, 90.
I know. How
2000. 2010, 2026.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my math is off.
So yeah, that's still 6 decades. I mean, if you think about it though, if we were born in 1970, we would be turning 60 in 2030, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. Don't make me do math. It's too late.
We've lived in a portion of each of those decades you mentioned.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, yep, we're going to spend the next couple hours talking about how old we are. So get ready. No, I'm sorry. Are we supposed to act like we're young and hip?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Here's the thing, man. I've talked to some people before that, and I asked, older people, and I'm like, so listen, when you get do you still have the same thoughts, and you still think of yourself the same as you did when you peaked, in your
40s,
psychologically or mentally, and which is probably in your early 20s, right?
Yeah. Well,
and I'm like, yeah, I still feel like that same person as I was back then, and it's just like then things happen that remind you that you're not that young anymore.
Yeah. No, I feel smarter than I was when I was back, that kid back then. I mean, I feel like life has forced me to accept certain things and experience certain things where I wouldn't do that shit now,
Yeah.
I feel like a more mature person, maybe. Even though I say that, but,
I mean, I definitely...
I said that, but I'm doing a podcast, and I'm on my second beer almost. I'm a more mature person.
Yeah, but that's the thing about being an adult also, is when you get to be an adult, you get to do all those things you were told you couldn't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I first started driving myself to work, I would stop and eat fast food every fucking day because all the times my mom goes, we got food at home. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm going to eat whatever. And then I was like, hey, I've just gained 50 pounds this summer. This is fucked.
Yeah. Same thing with me. When I first got away from small town Ocala and came to Orlando and started working for myself, I had a job where, I go out and travel every day. I was like eating fucking McDonald's every day because like nobody can tell me not to.
Yeah, exactly.
And then boom, that quarter pounder was like, 400 pounder.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, speaking of work, my real job, I'm starting to get recognized for a few things, and I was asked to speak at something, which is coming up next week, and I got fucking real nervous about it and sweating about it, and this is where I feel more mature, like, now than I can handle it better now than if I was in my 20s. I still have this anxiety about it, but I was able to calm myself. Use some of the techniques I've learned. The what's it fucking called? Not yoga. Meditation. And centered myself. I'm still nervous, but I was ready to do it, and I got this whole plan in my head. I'm going to talk to these people about what I do, and I go to Vistaprint and I order some fucking shirts, and I'm like, hell yeah, they're going to look cool with my company logo. And then I get the email confirmation, and it's like 14 days from now you'll be getting your shirts. I'm like, damn it.
So you're not going to have them in time?
No, but I did the Google search, and I found a guy here locally, and I gave him all my stuff, and for $50 I'm getting 2 shirts on Monday. But the kicker is, I also look at these cool pens. I got like 50 of these to give out. Because everybody likes free stuff. So even if my talk sucks, they got a pen.
They got a free pen out of it.
Man,
when you write, like I use a pen all day long at work, and when you use a pen every day, man, free pens are badass. You're like, you got a free pen, I will take it.
Yeah, well, I'll hook you up. I got a couple for you.
All right.
Because here's the deal. Here I am stressing about this talk I'm going to give, and worrying about shirts and spending too much money on stuff that's like might not even be here on time, or isn't going to be here. Now we got a hurricane coming.
Yeah, and it might not happen.
It might not even fucking happen. So this is another way life reminds me, and this is a life lesson with Owen. Don't worry. Don't sweat it, because you never know when a hurricane's going to come and blow out the whole neighborhood. You know? So,
take out everything.
I guess that's not really positive, but...
No, I wouldn't... Well, it's not positive.
It's not.
It's that could go several directions.
Yeah. But we are missing the lovely Boston Brit. She is at home minding my kids. Man, I feel so bad, like when I'm laying in bed about to fall asleep at 8:30, and she comes, waddling in there in the bedroom and starts to lay down, then all of a sudden looks at me and runs to the bathroom, and I hear, bleh, and then she has to take a shower because she's thrown up everywhere, and I almost feel... It concerns me a little bit how easily I'm falling to sleep now. I'm getting really used to it, and it's like, yeah, honey, you got this. Women, I am glad I'm not one of you because of what you have to go through. and any man that has had a woman basically tear themselves open for you to make you a child and play with, thank you very much. I'm thinking.
Well, I don't think they're doing it so you have something to play with.
I enjoy playing.
I think
with
there's
my
other
kids.
reasons. Yeah, I'm sure there's multiple reasons. They're not just let me tear myself open so Owen's got something to play with.
Honey, I'm really bored and I've had enough puppies. Can you just have me a kid now? That's kind of how it went down. No, it was not at all.
That was the exact conversation that took place.
So she said, sure.
She said, okay, yeah, no problem.
I didn't know it was going to be one right after the other. They should have told me that shit before.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Dude, again, that sack of shit that started this show with you, it now has a 1-year-old daughter almost.
Yeah.
And another kid in like 2 months. I'm scared, but I'm happy. It's a weird feeling. I want to puke and shit at the same time,
Wait, so which one is the happy one? The puking or the shitting?
They're all mixed up. I know I'm going to be fine. I know I'm going to be fun. It's just, I think part of it is how quickly life is changing,
Yeah.
Like, I spent my whole life and everything being the same and depressing and boring, and now it's like, I'm happy, and then you really want to be happy? Here's a fucking mudslide. Drown, bitch, in your happiness.
Oh, man.
And
well, I mean...
It'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a way to say this. So, you always wanted a family. Now you got one.
I got a big family now coming. It's like that. It's like, I think I sold my soul to the devil at one point and forgot about it. And he's going to come up and collect. And I'm like, you know what? I've sold my soul quite a lot, sir.
You're like, I always wanted a family, but I didn't want the Brady Bunch. I mean, hey, sooner or later they're all going to start, playing together, and they won't need you as much anymore. Yes, that to look forward to.
Dude, it's getting harder and harder to get down on that goddamn floor. But anyway, all right. So yeah, I mentioned the beautiful Boston Brit is at home watching the kids. That's how we got here. So
Yeah, yeah.
And I hear my phone vibrating. I wonder if that's her. And I'm not going to worry about it right now. Also, the beautiful beardless wonder. I tell you, he shouldn't.
He shaved that beard off, and all of a sudden he's got a ton of health problems.
I know, it's like the Samson thing, but he's got maybe he'll call in. I don't know. We're doing. I don't know what's going on with this P Diddy thing.
Okay.
And I know he knows about the rap. So maybe after we take our first break, come in for the meat of the show.
Yeah.
We talk about that a little bit. We got TV. Does that have anything to do with TV, or is that its own thing?
It's its own thing for sure. But
Right.
I mean, so here's what's funny. I've noticed this the last couple of weeks. I've noticed it for a while, but now I'm seeing it more often. So, TMZ is doing their own hour-long, news docs now. And it's like every story that's happening, you'll see it pop up on I use an Amazon Fire Cube. That's for my television. So it'll come up and advertise it. It said P. Diddy, the downfall, P. Diddy, indictment. And they're hour-long specials from TMZ.
Yeah,
so they're doing their own mini documentary specials now. So there's a ton of the information out there. We watched one of them, and Heather said she learned more from the short YouTube videos that she's been watching than she did from the documentary from TMZ. So, I mean, it's obviously just they're a news source, so they're recycling, the news that they're getting, which most of it you're probably already going to know if you're paying attention to that. I've paid a little bit of attention. I'm just enough to know what's going on.
I've paid none. I'm
not super interested in all the little details. I had a conversation with Soul Brother Kevin a couple days ago, and he was just laying a bunch of shit out for me on what's going on with it. So there's a lot going on there. So a lot of people are asking the question, what's illegal about what happened?
Yeah, and from the little I've heard, it involves baby oil and lots of penis.
Yes, but there's a lot to it. Yeah, a lot of forced interaction. A lot of
forced interaction.
Yeah. He
that's not cool.
Yeah, his girlfriends and the women that he was in relationships with, he would force them to perform with male porn stars and shit. Yeah, and a lot of it also has to do with the fact that he was, a lot of the stuff he was doing, he was filming these freak-offs, they call them, these parties, because then all the people that are at the party, he's like, I got you. Like, you can't do shit. You can't say shit about me. And, he's using it for extortion. So if you were at one of his parties, he filmed all of that shit, and he's like, yeah, I got you a video of you here. You don't want anybody to see that, do you?
A freak-off party, I imagine, well, we can probably talk more of it later, but I imagine everybody gets naked and have sex with each other?
I think he was hiring sex workers, prostitutes, porn stars to be part of the party so that everyone was interacting with them as well.
All right, so, I think one of the names I saw linked to this is Justin Bieber.
Yes.
So Justin Bieber would come over for a freak-out party. P. Diddy would be like, hey, buddy, let's go dance in my freak-out party and get baby oil on each other and get naked.
Yeah.
Would those two be doing stuff with each other, or would they just
it's really hard to say at this point. Because I'm hearing that Puff Daddy was doing shit with other men, and that's all documented as well. So I think it was it was a little bit of everything was going on there. And so I think a lot of people, there's some people who maybe their personal life isn't really, for the public, and he's got all of this on them, and that's the reason why a lot of them were like, he was a confidant, and now it's like, well, he's got all this video evidence, so now you have to be cool to him,
So he might have guys doing things. What about popular girls?
I don't know.
Is there
it's
a
possible.
list?
There's not really a list. There's a lot of speculation because of the people that he was keeping company with. So, for example, he was in a long relationship with Jennifer Lopez. A lot of people are thinking there's probably video of Jennifer Lopez and some shit going on there.
Ooh, I might go to the dark web tonight. You look, if there's a digital copy of something out there, it's probably on the dark web, right?
Maybe. I mean, and that's the thing too is, when he got word that this investigation was happening, he had enough time to destroy a bunch of shit. Whether he did or not is I mean, it's who knows. But he had every opportunity to get rid of this shit. So I don't know.
So I mean, do we not like? Are we banning Diddy? Are we canceling Diddy?
I mean, I was never a fan anyway, but I mean, the way I kind of look at it is, you know, that's for everyone to make. That's for you to make that decision on your own. I mean, because I've personally had to separate the art from the artist on a lot of situations in the past, and I'm like, I still like the music, but I'm not gonna pay that guy's bills anymore. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, so if I hear a song like this come on, am I supposed to turn it? Am I supposed to? You know what this one is?
I do not.
I just find it funny the title of this one.
What is it?
I didn't know. All right, I'm sorry, I didn't know he had such a long theatrical intro. Oh my God, it's 3 minutes in. He's still on the phone.
Is it more money, more problems? Is that Mace?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mace and Notorious B.I.G. This is classic shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is what I grew up with. All right, more of this acting shit. Been around the world tonight. I'm trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
And him and his freak out party going around the world with Jennifer Lopez. God damn, I mean, maybe it started with Notorious B.I.G. I love that one song where he's singing goodbye to him. What song is that?
Oh, I'll be missing you.
Missing you.
That's the one where he sampled the Police.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be missing. I'm sorry, everybody, to pause the show like this and play old songs from high school. I'll be missing. No, where is it? There it is. Hold on. Yeah, and I'll be grunting a lot because, I'm filling space. And without these two clowns over here, there's a lot more of me, and that's what you get. This one right here.
Oh yeah.
I still love it, even though I know this guy probably diddled like half of Hollywood. P diddled half of Hollywood.
P diddle.
I lace the track, you lock the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express.
Neither are parties.
Even though you're gone.
Never mind. All right, that's enough. All right. I wonder if there's any videos of Notorious B.I.G. out there. When did he become freaky? Was it from always, or
that I don't know.
Or does becoming successful and rich and popular make you go?
There is
crazy?
Actually a lot. I've seen just this week some stories are coming out where they think he actually may have had something to do with B.I.G.'s shooting, like him getting killed, because he got it. And I mean, he blew up after that. Once Biggie was gone, he made a ton of money off that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he saw an opportunity.
There's people that said all along he had something to do with Pac getting killed. Now they're saying they think he might have something to do with Biggie as well. So I mean, the guy. Well, there's a lot of people that I've heard recently this week saying everyone's afraid of this guy, like in the business.
Oh, jeez.
Everyone who knows him is afraid of him because they're like he's damn near like a mob boss. So. I think that there's a lot of shit's going to come down, and you're going to find out this guy was he saw himself as a Don. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, he kind of did. I mean, that's how he portrayed himself in some of these videos and stuff. I was watching them. But anyway, so all right, maybe we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
With the rap man himself, but if he's not feeling up to it, I get it.
Brittany just commented. She said Eminem called him out for both of the killings.
Really?
For Tupac and Biggie, yeah.
Well,
there's some Eminem news this week too.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah, he had a new music video come out, and there's an Easter egg in the video.
Oh yeah,
about his daughter. The whole song is about his daughter.
Oh shit, that might make me cry if we listen to it.
It's you when you see it. I saw it and I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool.
I did a search the other day for like daddy daughter songs, and then I downloaded them, and a lot of country shit.
Oh yeah.
If you listen to it, it's kind of nice and stuff. There's some good ones. And nothing I need to share, but other TV shows. There's this rocked my world. I'm a big fan of Expedition X and Josh Gates show. He has like an Expedition everything. And for 7 years now he's had this program, Expedition X. He's getting too old, so he's hired 2 other people to go out and do his thing for him.
Yeah.
And he goes out with him every once in a while. there's this one guy, something Torres. He's been the same guy ever since the beginning, and it has been awesome. And then they had this other girl for 7 seasons, Jessica Chobot. She was cute. She started off at the gaming network, and for 7 seasons she's been the girl. I used to find it fun. And like, she calls herself a paranormal investigator in the way that I do.
Yeah.
I'm interested in it, and I've went to haunted places, and that's about her level of skills go. But she's cute.
Okay.
So when she's out there getting scared and believing in everything, it's cute.
Yeah.
And
not a whole lot of credibility though.
But you could tell she was really trying, because when she would do voiceovers, when like she's talking normally to the Phil is the guy's name, she's like, yeah, I'm a girl and I'm talking and we're scared. But then when she has to do her voiceovers, obviously in a production booth, she puts on her like, this is my professional voice, and it's really cute. And I used to like that because she was trying so hard to be legitimate.
Right.
So I guess it took 7 years for somebody really to finally realize, hey, we're trying to do a real paranormal show. Let's get a real paranormal investigator in here. And so, like, nobody knew this was happening. It just happened. So I think there might have been something else going on there. I don't know. Like, part of my brain goes right away to, like, obviously the guy Phil and her, something maybe happened while they're out in a haunted place. They fucked or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what it
the
was.
first place your brain goes.
I mean,
maybe somebody fucked.
So she had to leave, but or maybe she wanted more money, or maybe, like I said, somebody said, look, we need a more legitimate paranormal investigator, and they sure as shit found it. And why when I say that, look, I'm talking I'm a documented paranormal investigator.
Yes.
And I've bought some stud finder type things from the Amazon and went out to haunted places and said, look, it's lighting up, motherfuckers.
Did you ever get one of those time machines like in Napoleon Dynamite where you shock your balls with it?
No.
No, you should get one. We'll try it on the show, see if you go back to 95.
All right. I don't need my balls anymore. I really don't. And it might save me a doctor visit. So I'm supposed to get fixed after the first of the year. So we'll see if that fucking happens. But all right. Let me.
Grandma says you got to cut it off.
Yeah, Grandma says a lot of things so that she doesn't remember anything. It's kind of cute. Hold on, let me pause this. Goddamn it. No, my grandma. I tried calling her like a couple weeks ago and called her cell phone, and it would do. This number's been disconnected or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, man. So I let it go for 2 or 3 days. And I'm like, fine, I'll call her house, because she's one of the last few people that actually has a landline.
Okay.
So I call the house, and it rings once, and it goes a fast busy.
Okay.
I'm like, what the hell is this? And it stays. I let it go for another couple days. Like, she might be dead on the floor.
Oh man.
But I don't really want to deal with it yet.
There's I see way too many of these. So let me bring this up, because I mentioned this today. I was looking for something fun and quirky to watch, and goddamn, I like lifestyle documentaries. That's my favorite thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be a story. It's just he's like, hey, meet Joe.
Not Lifetime.
No. Lifestyle.
Okay, lifestyle. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing you with a popcorn.
No.
Crying.
No, so here's my thing. I've always been like a people watcher kind of person, right?
Yes.
I like these documentaries where it's like, hey, here's a trailer park in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, and this is the way they live. You know what I mean? I like seeing stuff like that. The documentary about the villages was great. I like those kind of documentaries. I like documentaries about quirky people. Like, hey, here's a guy who collected, 500,000 bottle caps. I want to meet that guy. You know what I mean?
And then built a house out of it.
Yeah. But now every single documentary, somebody's getting raped and murdered. Every single one. I'm like, and don't get me wrong, some of them are really super interesting. I just watched the new one on Netflix. It's called Into the Fire: The Lost Daughter. And that was super interesting. It's about this woman who gave up her daughter for adoption when she was 10 months old because she couldn't take care of her. Her mom told her, you need to give her a chance to have a better life. Well, she always thought about looking her up and find out, what happened to her. And then she gets a letter, and says, they said that your daughter went missing at the age of 14. This was like 20 years, after, and we found a body in the woods, and we need your DNA to see if it's her. Yeah. And so she's like, and that's where the story starts, and then it's this whole, investigation of her trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
That's
everything,
somewhat
everything
interesting.
is so dark. Now.
I know
But
it all is super heavy and dark, and it's crazy stuff. But
I've been telling Brittany this because she likes to turn the TV on headline news at night that plays nothing but forensic files. So every 30 minutes, there's a new horrible case.
Yep.
And every once in a while, I wake up at like 2 a.m. and listen for a few minutes, and somebody's dog is being killed, and I don't want to hear this stuff at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Woman, but she's sleeping like a fucking princess, and she's like,
it's. I love real shit, like real stories.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather watch a documentary about a real life thing that happened than, something scripted. But I do like scripted stuff. I like funny movies. I like horror movies. I like all that. But it just seems like most of the shit that's coming out now is all true crime, and it's just.
Well, didn't South Park do a whole thing where like it's
murder porn.
That's what it was, and it was the women that love it.
I saw a new documentary that ties into that this week.
But what is the porn part? I don't get that part.
They call it porn because it's like all these people are obsessed with true crime. So it's like that's their porn.
That's their porn?
Yeah.
It's not like they're necessarily having sex to it.
No. Well, that's what they did on South Park because that's what they were
That's okay. Yeah, that's why I have that in my head. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
South Park was making it into like that that they like the porn.
No,
that's their porn,
Every once in a while in the middle of the night, the woman likes to, grab something and like start rubbing, and I'll sort of start to wake up, and I'm like getting in the mood, and then I hear in the background how some woman's head was bashed in with a hammer. Right. And I'm like, come on, this is taking me right out of it. But then she puts her mouth on me somewhere, and I'm like, I don't care, kill that woman. So it's a weird feeling.
Since you brought up South Park, I just watched the new documentary that came out this week on Paramount.
Yeah.
Casa Bonita, Mi Amor.
Hold on. That's Spanish, right?
Yes.
Casa is house.
Yep.
Mi Amor is my love.
Yeah.
What's that other word?
Bonita.
House Bonita. I remember that song being in a Madonna song.
Yeah.
And I still don't know what it means.
I think it's Beauty.
So House of Beauty.
Yeah.
I've already forgot the rest.
Regardless of that, you will remember an episode from season 7, I think it was 03, of South Park, where all the boys want to go to Casa Bonita for their birthday.
Okay, the House of Beauty. Okay, that makes sense.
So Casa Bonita is a real place in Lakeview, Colorado, just outside of Denver. It's a 50,000 square foot Mexican village under a roof, where it's a restaurant, there's cliff divers, there's caves, there's games, there's characters. It's like an indoor theme park Mexican restaurant.
That sounds awesome.
It's a real place.
Okay.
So Trey and Matt Parker, when they were kids, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I'm sorry, they loved Casa Bonita. They used to go there, and so that's why they wrote it into their show. Well, during the pandemic, it closed, and it was in disrepair, so they decided to buy it and reopen it.
Okay.
And it was a shithole. Like, it opened in 1970, I think they said 75 or 72, somewhere in that range. And so all the beams inside were rotting through. The place was falling down. They ended up spending almost $40 million to rebuild this place and get it back to operating, standards, so they could reopen it. And that it's a documentary on Paramount Plus right now called Casa Bonita, Mi Amor, and it's about the story of them trying to save their childhood memory of this place.
Yeah,
really good.
I got the trailer. You want to hear it for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, welcome to Casa Bonita. Anyone's parents divorced?
It's a puppet.
People call Casa Bonita the Mexican restaurant Disneyland.
When you grew up in Colorado, you just remember how awesome it was.
When I was a kid, there was a dream that one day I could own Casa Bonita.
I am going to Casa Bonita.
All right.
Why do you think Casa Bonita is so important to Trey?
There are cliff divers,
Dive, asshole!
caves to explore. It made it feel like a dream.
Okay, so it's all made
Fans of
like
Casa
Disney.
Bonita
That's
have been
awesome.
missing this iconic restaurant for more than a year.
The kid in me was just like, hey, you want to buy Disneyland? I could do that?
Which one is that? Is that Trey?
Trey.
South Park purchased the iconic Casa Bonita, a fine dining restaurant.
Are you guys just playing around?
No, we are renovating and opening an amazing restaurant.
Welcome to Casa Bonita. Howdy, partner. Howdy. And we can't afford to build that, so let's just get a dude to do that. And...
All right. Do I need to play the rest of it? It's like another 50 seconds. So.
$4 million for HVAC, new kitchen. That's probably in the 2 range.
Have you ever seen Kitchen Nightmares? This is what every air duct looks like.
It's the most dangerous thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
We have 2 days.
I expect all the drama to cease.
Oh my God, this isn't ready. Tensions are high.
Is like a possibility that it just never opens?
Yeah, it is. I've never done anything like this. Any
But it is open now.
Yeah. Would say, get out now. That's not the point. I better go start making some new TV shows.
Bail them out. All right, very good. All right, I'll check that out.
It's a lot of fun to watch. The ending of it's kind of sad because I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it. But
It's everything they set out to do, they do.
All right.
But it's just I think that the expectations that Trey Parker had once he had fixed it and it was back and everything was clean and new and it was running. I think at the end of it he realized that he just by building that, just by keeping that place open, he didn't get the satisfaction he thought he was going to get as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where sometimes you can't go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, whenever I do go home, I wish I was not there. Not my real home. Like when I go to my childhood home. I gotta clarify that.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I guess, dude, she's pregnant, and I gotta be careful with everything I say.
Your grandma?
No, my one of my 90-year-old grandmother.
So you go to your childhood home, and you're afraid to go to your childhood home because she's pregnant.
No.
Like, whoa.
I'm saying I have to be careful what I say because my woman at home is pregnant.
Yeah.
She hears that.
I get that.
I'm afraid to go home, which sometimes I am.
Yeah.
Blink twice if I need to get out of here. No.
All right. So do you want to take a break and we'll call Joe when we come back? Because I
Metal
saw,
Joe?
Yeah, I actually saw Metal Joe on a documentary this week.
Okay, all right. Well, that's cool. All right, when we get back, we'll take a quick break. If you're listening live, hang in there. If you're not listening live, I appreciate it. Just hang in there after the song, and we'll be right back. But other TV shows I wanted to talk about, in that last thing they were talking about, calling Kitchen Nightmares with the guy.
Yeah,
that yells, what's it, the Bar Rescue? I've been watching that. A lot.
Yeah.
Brittany loves that, and the guy on there is John Taffer.
Yes,
and he has a new show called Marriage Rescue.
I heard about that.
It's a little silly. So I want to talk about that.
I've not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. Also, Will and Harper. Oh, I didn't finish the Expedition X stuff. Yeah, that's all right. When we come back, I'll introduce you to the new girl.
Yeah.
And why I think they replaced the cute one. American Pickers got some news. And that'll lead us into a lot of celebrity death and deaths in sports. Got 2 of them, big ones. So hang in there. So it's a lot of depressing stuff and even more sad stuff. So
all right. So I was torn on what music to use for this week because again, some celebrity deaths. I had stuff I wanted to use, but this band popped up on my suggested list on Spotify. I checked them out, and I'm like, I got to give it to these guys. So the name of this band is, can you read that, Owen?
The Fat Dukes of Fuck?
Yeah, that's the name of the band. The Fat Dukes of Fuck. And, yeah.
Are they fat?
I don't know. All I've seen is their record covers, and they all have drawings on them and statues and shit, so I don't know. But the first song, the title of it, immediately I want to support these guys.
I just did a search for the name, and all the videos come up have the little I with a slash in it. So I can't see anything they put up.
So this song I'm going to go to break with, this song is called Sorry About Your Dick. You know immediately when you hear this, I'm like, yeah, I was like, okay, I dig it.
Oh my God, they look like normal people.
Oh, I'm a turning
What is that instrument? Is that the drums?
Yeah, that's drums. That's the kick drum, the bass drum. All right, you're listening to Pop Culture Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pop Culture Radio. I don't know if you caught the line in there. This song is I think I killed a small child.
No, I didn't.
That's the name of the song. This is I Killed a Small Child by the Fat Dukes of Fuck. But they've got a cool sound to them. They remind me of like Mr. Bungle or some of the stuff that Mike Patton's done over the years. But I think listening to this, they're definitely a fan of Mr. Bungle, I think.
I give them 2 penises up. Or dicks up, whatever you want to call them.
Well,
I feel dirty calling them dicks now. Now that I've had kids, I kind of cringe when I say dick.
Really?
I don't know why. Now I have to say
I'm so glad I don't have kids.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, some of the words I use, I do feel a little weird saying them in front of people. But at the same point... At the same point, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. No. Trust me, our kids have heard everything. I just try to clean it up a little bit. Just to show them that there is another way to talk.
Yeah. It's like that's always one of my things when people go, hey, is it cool if I bring my kid? And I'm like, can I say fuck in front of him? Because if the answer's no, it's going to be awkward.
Yeah, you can't. So.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Owen Money here, and that is Dirt McCoy, who is sexy as fuck.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I
try.
I got to throw some
push my dick away, I guess.
We got some TV stuff we're going to talk about. Marriage Rescue, Will and Harper, Expedition X, American Pickers, and we got to put some celebrities dead. And deaths in the sports and all this shit. It's good, great, happy shit we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. But before we do that, let's talk. Do we have them queued up?
I'll pull it up right now.
Let's talk to this guy. We haven't had him on air for a little bit. Metal Joe. I like to call him Heavy Metal Joe. He doesn't like that. I guess he likes all types of...
Hello, Dirt McCoy.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up? You're live, right?
Yeah, you're live.
We are live.
Good. So what's up, Owen? Congratulations on your new child coming, brother.
Thank you. It's in December, and I'm stoked, man. I can't. And
you have another girl?
No, it's going to be a boy this time. Going to be a boy.
Okay, because I have 2 girls.
All right. Right now with you?
No. My daughter's in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
My other daughter's a healthcare worker.
No,
oh, man.
All right. He got serious there for a minute. I was trying to make a joke. Like, you're Metal Joe. You're in bed with 2 women right now, right?
Yeah, you wish. I wish.
Yeah, you wish, not me wish.
I'm going to be severely disappointed, I think, by the answer to this question. But are your daughter's names Heavy Metal Pilot and Heavy Metal Nurse?
Nice try. I'll take it. It's funny. No, my daughter's name is Haley. Lieutenant at NORAD.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
The other one's Juliana. She's a traveling nurse.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice. She's a traveling nurse. Does she go door to door knocking?
No.
Oh, and I'm going to kill you. I will cut your penis off.
Hey, his grandma wants that done anyway. You might be able to help her out.
Save me a doctor visit. No,
you need to put a wrap on that.
I know. That at the first of the year, some shit's gonna be cut. I don't know. It scares
We're gonna
me.
do it live on the air.
Oh, don't do that.
I would do it.
But anyway, yeah. By the way, Kurt McCoy emailed me and saw me in the
He's so uncomfortable
documentary.
Yeah. Nothing but a good time. That's on Peacock, I believe.
No. It's on Paramount
Plus. Paramount Plus. Yeah.
Wait a minute. For everybody listening who might not have been exposed to you, Metal Joe, you've been on MTV TV before. What was the name of that show?
A VH1 Classics, That Metal Show.
That Metal Show, whatever. VH1, MTV is all the same bullshit now.
Exactly.
You've made your life has been all about metal and following these rock bands around to the point where they're like, we've seen this guy so much, we've seen him more than our own kids because we tour so much, and he's at every fucking thing.
I give you that, yeah.
I mean, what a life, man! How did you have kids and do this?
Well, here's the thing. Well, I was always working. Well, let's say back in Pittsburgh, I worked at Spencer Gifts.
Okay.
For 12 years at the Century 3 Mall, which is no longer in existence. It's sad that my childhood mall got torn down.
Oh, man. All malls are dying right now.
Yeah, all malls are dying right now. And I worked at Spencer Gifts, and then I was a DJ for a while. Then I went to truck driving school, became a truck driver. And then now I work for Amazon as a truck driver.
Nice.
Getting ready to retire in 6 months.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Well,
with my benefits.
With all this touring and going around and watching all these bands, when did you have time to have a couple kids? Was that while you were a truck driver? Were you a Mr. Lot Lizard?
Yeah, I was. Well, I met Yvonne. I met Yvonne back in Ohio when I was working as a DJ in Ohio at Supply Fox.
When you say DJ, were you working on you were in radio?
No. I was DJing rock and roll nights at the Sly Fox bar, not a strip bar. Fox.
Okay. Okay, cool. So if we can pause right there for a second, let me ask you some questions about that, because that's one of the things about one of the things I can claim to be as a music historian. A lot of people don't realize that when people say, "Oh, a DJ played my song and that started my career," a lot of people, when they say that, they think they mean a radio DJ. Not necessarily. No. Back then, especially when it comes to music like metal, punk, a lot of the subgenres that were not necessarily radio friendly at the time. If somebody like Joe spun your record,
they meant like him
on Saturday night, then all the kids would hear it and go, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" And then he would have a line of people up at the DJ booth going, "Hey, what was that song you just played?" And then they would go buy the record. They would go to the concert when the band came to town, and that's how bands would blow up on the underground, is from guys like Joe spinning your shit on DJ nights.
You know what? That makes total sense, because I was one of those guys that when I heard DJ, I thought somebody on the radio, and I always wondered because they had a playlist they had to play.
DJs like him and tape trading is what blew up most of the underground bands back then.
Nice.
A lot of vinyl too.
Yeah. Did you ever have bands come to you and bring you their shit, like to?
Back when I had the Rock and Metal Penitentiary show, I was on what was it? Tune In Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I had a show on there.
Yeah.
And this is back in the day. I had to cut it, but a band heard my show. They sent me a CD. They were called Erase from the Netherlands, I think. Somewhere out there. They sent me a CD and a shirt. And I played their song, Television Nation, You're Not Free. That was a cover song they did. And I played it on my show because I liked it.
Yeah.
And I said, we're on that show.
Well, what Dirt was asking, but when you were DJing and spinning records or whatever the fuck you were doing, did any bands come and approach you and give you their music so that you could try to?
No. It was I mean, this is Sly Fox. It's just like a bar with. I DJ in between sets of the band.
I got you. Okay. I got what you're saying. Yeah,
and also maybe the part of the country you were in at the time, or the city you were in, may not have had anything like that. Yeah. I mean, Ohio is a big state. I mean, fuck, Cleveland is what blew rock and roll up for the whole country. Yeah.
Well, for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yes. Yeah. But I hate the football team.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about Alan. I'm talking about Alan Freed.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, he's the first guy that played rock and roll on the radio. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that for both of us.
And also,
I know he
there's been
didn't
a
know
ton of
either.
documentaries.
What?
There's been a ton of documentaries that have been really good
Yeah.
Yes.
out there, like the one on Z100 about New York.
Well, that one might be good, but let's talk about your documentary for a second.
Of course.
What are you featured in it, or do you just happen to be in it?
I featured. What happened was a lot of that stuff. A lot of stuff was cut. I think they're going to do sequels for these documentaries on Nothing But a Good Time. But what happened was I was sitting in a sit-down interview. I was at M3 Fest in Baltimore.
Okay.
And they interviewed me. They sat me down for like 20 minutes interviewing me, and then they had me in line at M3 Fest with my VIP, and they tried to fire me up a little, saying it was Metal Dead, and I got a little fired up, and, you know.
All right.
I got a little fired up and a little angry, but you know.
So
you got fired up and pissed off.
Fired and pissed off at one of the questions.
So here's the thing.
Well, hold on. What was the question that pissed you off?
They said, "Is metal dead?"
Yeah, it's Metal Dead. And I'm like this going, are we fucking dead? Look at this fucking line. Look at the people. Look at our people. Are we fucking dead? And everyone yells, no. And I say, we're not dead. We're alive. We're well. And we raised our kids on this shit.
Okay,
Come
listen,
on.
Joe.
all right.
So here's the thing that's funny about that. When he just said all that, none of that's in the documentary.
I know. It's not in the documentary. It's
They
not in
cut
the
all that
documentary.
out.
I know.
The only
They
thing that's
cut
in
it.
the documentary is
When I
they're
was at
talking about
Roxy,
they're talking about the band Vixen,
Okay.
which
yes,
which
I got to show my Vixen tattoo.
and so Joe pulled his titty out with Vixen tattooed on it
Oh,
and
my
showed it
titty out.
on
Oh, my chest out.
Paramount.
No shit. You went shirtless?
No, he pulled his shirt
Yeah, no,
down
my-
and popped a tit out and
I
showed
didn't
his
show
Vixen
my
tattoo.
titty.
That's
I
even
showed
worse to
my
pull it
chest.
down than just to pull your shirt up. Why would you pull your shirt down?
But he's like,
Because they wanted to see the Vixen tattoo.
But why did you pull your shirt up? That's much more manly.
Because Vixen was playing M3 Fest that year, and they wanted to see the
not an
Vixen
answer to my
tattoo.
the
question.
tattoo's up here,
So I
Owen.
showed
It's
him
right
the
here.
Vixen
But you pull your shirt all the way
Why
up.
would you pull your shirt up? You closest point of entry
I didn't
is
pull my
down.
shirt up. I pulled the side.
Look.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Joe.
But-
I'm trying to explain to him.
I understand that, but with guys of our build, pulling your titty out like this and having it flop
I
out.
didn't pull my titty out. I pulled my chest out. Oh my god!
Semantics. I'm just saying.
I'll slap you, Owen.
All right, well, I've got to check. I didn't get to see this documentary. What was the name of it again?
It's called Nothing But a
Called
Good
Nothing
Time.
But a Time.
Nothing But a
Yeah,
Good
Nothing
Time.
But a Good Time.
Huh.
There's
If
untold
you want
stories
nothing but a good
of this.
time, if you want to see Joe pull his titty out,
Oh, that's not true.
I mean, see, with me, if I do this kind of thing, my titty droops even more. So,
Oh, my
no,
God.
look, if for whatever reason I had to expose myself, I would pull the shirt up so that my arms would go up, therefore stretching my titties up more, and it would look more muscular. And that's also why I haven't tattooed anything that does not need to be shown, like my titties. So they're not getting. Why did you tattoo your chest where you might have to show it someday?
Well, like I said, I mean, Vixen, the band Vixen, they're like my family and sisters. They're like the family.
All right.
They've always treated. I just got from seeing them in Miami not too long ago. And when I got the tattoo, I took a picture of it for Roxy, and she said it was perfection. And everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. They said, now you're very dedicated.
Well, and also to Joe's credit, the segment where they show him, they're talking about how everyone thinks of hair metal and glam metal and 80s metal as being a boys' club, and a lot of people forget about the women's,
the chicks.
the
Okay.
female bands. And so and then they show Joe, and they're like, "Yeah, he's got a Vixen tattoo." People forget what a big deal Vixen was.
So they're talking about females and
there's
female.
something in the documentary.
Right.
There's something in the documentary too that Roxy said tough shit if I mentioned it about her sister.
Okay.
If I'm not going to tell you, but I think
Yeah, that's going in the
you
weeds.
actually-
I just
no, actually, I'll tell you.
I just want to point out that so the documentary was talking about how girl bands were forgotten, kind of. And
No, the documentary is just all about. It's all about that.
It was all about a male generation.
Yeah, that generation of music.
well, they were going to spotlight the women, and then they go straight to Metal Joe.
Yeah, because they're saying that they were saying that No, they were saying that people forget about all these great female bands, and then they talk about Vixen, and then they cut to the video of Joe showing his Vixen tattoo.
Yeah. All right. I wasn't trying to make a joke that he was girly and they go to girly metal. I'm saying, as an expert on females not being forgotten, they go to Metal Joe as the expert. That's kind of cool, right?
Well, they go. I think they go to him to show the fandom. That they're like, look, this guy, like, people forget how great these bands were, and here's a guy who liked this band so much he's got them tattooed on him.
On his titty.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, anyway, in the documentary, Roxy was also in a band with her sister, Maxine, called Madam X.
Yeah.
Nice.
And some guy in the band pulled out his junk and put it on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And Maxine wears those 6-inch heels on stage.
Oh, yeah, she did say that.
And smashed his penis right there.
She stepped on it with her 6-inch leather heel.
Somebody from the band or just somebody from the audience?
Yes, the guitar player, Maxine, smashed his penis.
Yeah.
Right on stage.
And he kept playing?
And I asked Maxine about it. And I said, Maxine, did you really do that? And she said, you're damn right I did. And she said, I wish that story was never brought up.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason...
Roxy said, tough shit.
Yeah, I think the reason for bringing that whole story up was that because there was so much decadence in that generation of music. I mean, come on, dude. Every video was half-naked chicks fawning all over these guys.
Oh, of course.
Whenever somebody would... And I think, I can't remember who it was, but it was one of the other girls that said it in the documentary. She said,
Laura Cherry Pie.
Yeah, it was when she said, if a guy did something like that, you had to let him know right away, hey man, that shit don't fly around here,
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't fly.
All right, well, be looking for Metal Joe in the documentary, whatever it was called.
Also, I'll be at Spooky Empire this year.
All right, I was going to say, where any other places you're going to are going to be appearing? So Spooky Empire, what else?
Spooky Empire, I will be on the Monster Rock cruise this year, and the 80s cruise again.
Awesome.
And something you never expect me doing this cruise.
What's that?
Ballet.
It was the Star Trek cruise.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who's your favorite Star Trekker?
I'm an original nut.
All right.
I like Picard.
That's not original. That's Next Generation, dude.
I like Next Generation. I like Next Generation too.
All
But I'll
right.
tell you what, my favorite is what's her name?
Troy?
Security officer.
Troy.
No, not Troy. Not Troy.
You
What's her
talking
name?
about Nichelle Nichols?
Security officer. Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah.
No, not Nichelle Nichols. I'm sorry. No, the other girl. She was also in the movie Miracle Mile.
Oh, the one that played 6 of 7?
Oh, 9 or something?
No, not 7 of 9.
7 of 9. Oh, okay.
Who the hell are you talking about then? You need to stick to the music.
The blonde. She was in Pet Cemetery.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Fido.
No.
I don't know. All right.
Her name's Michelle.
All right. I'm glad you like her. All right. I got a couple other questions real quick before we have to hang up from you.
Okay.
Fat Dukes of Fuck. Have you ever heard of them?
Dukes of Fuck.
Fat Dukes of Fuck.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, they were the featured band on the show tonight.
It's a band that was sent to me that I've been playing their music tonight. And I think you dig them. Joe, do you like Mr. Bungle and like Mike Patton's style of music?
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that.
Oh, he knew exactly what you're talking about.
They're a metal band, but they have some pretty cool syncopation and rhythms to them. But the band is called the Fat Dukes of Fuck, and the first album came out in 2012. It's called Honey from the Lips of an Angel, and their lead single was a song called Sorry About Your Dick.
That's just not my thing.
Hang on, they have a song called Step Aside and Let That Fucker Dance.
Like I said, songs like that don't impress
They're
me.
too aggressive.
But I will tell you this: I will be at Testament at the Hard Rock.
Oh,
on the 16th, and a new band.
You like
and a
how
new
he changed
band.
the subjects? He's real good at that.
A new band, what?
But I gotta say, I'm going to see this new band, first time in America, called Dogma.
Oh,
where are they from?
Band, I don't know. I can't remember. I think they're from Colombia.
I'll look them up.
But anyway, they're a female band dressed like nuns.
Oh, I'm in.
And they play instruments and they sing.
I'm in. I would like to see
check
that.
them out online. Check them out online. Dogma. band and look up their version of Like a Virgin or Like a Prayer.
All
Oh,
right,
like a prayer.
satanic.
Okay.
all right. I'm pulling it up
It's
now.
very satanic. I love it.
Very satanic.
Oh, look at them. Yeah, they're all dressed up like nuns, but satanic nuns. It's kind of hot.
And, I love that.
Dogma band. What was it? Like a prayer? Like a prayer.
Like a Prayer. They're Madonna cover.
All right, I'll play that in a moment. Just
Okay.
after we hang up with you. So if we don't like it, we can talk shit about you. No, I'm kidding.
Too, Owen.
Last
Owen,
thing.
I'll come visit you one day. I promise. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I want you to scare my kids. So
Oh, will you stop and play cards with me again?
I will. We got to find a place that's not those places and Kissimmee.
No
all right.
Dirty Jacks ever again.
All right.
Okay?
We don't need to say the company names.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
don't say
No
names.
Dirty Jacks.
All right, let me ask you this one last question that I'm curious. I haven't really been paying attention. We're going to probably dive into it more. But P. Diddy, I know he's rap, but
I like P. Diddy.
You like him? Have you been following anything?
Yes, I have been following. Yes, I'm going to give you my thoughts on that.
Okay.
When he was on the Conan O'Brien show and basically confessed.
Yeah, I've seen that clip.
Oh yeah, yeah, he did it, and I don't feel any sympathy for him.
Wait, hold on. You say
He'll be
did
sharing
it.
a cell with R. Kelly.
You say he did it. What did he do?
Oh, he sexually assaulted and trafficked.
All right. He sexually
How about this?
he
You
sexually
guys
assaulted
overlooked
traffic?
Yeah.
No, sexually assaulted and
trafficking.
sex trafficking.
And trafficking. All right.
There's a lot of
But also,
charges.
you guys overlooked something.
What's
You
that?
guys have overlooked something too. Garth Brooks.
I heard that story, but I shouldn't say I haven't heard the story.
One fucking minute.
Yeah.
You don't believe it?
No, I don't believe that for one fucking minute because I've met Garth Brooks. He is the nicest man. I've met Trisha Yearwood. She was so sweet and nice. Those two. I mean, come on, Garth Brooks.
Well,
Give me a break.
what is he accused of?
Of sexual assault and his makeup artist or whatever. It's all over the news.
I'm starting to think.
I only saw the headline. I did not read into the story or anything. I just haven't had the time to like deep dive into shit lately. But
yeah,
it was definitely a surprise because he's one of those guys. I mean, it's the same thing as like when the story came out about Dave Grohl fathering a child out of his outside of his marriage. But at the same point, it's like he owned right up to it. He's the one who posted and said, "Hey, this happened." He took ownership, took responsibility of it. I don't think it's going to be a big major hit for him. I know he did say Foo Fighters are on indefinite hiatus now because he's got to earn back his family's trust. But Dave Grohl is kind of similar to Garth Brooks, is that you don't hear a lot of people saying bad things about these guys. They're good people, they're good guys, and people love them. So you make a mistake.
Man, I don't believe that either.
Yeah, you make a mistake, some shit happens or whatever. But I don't know what the details are about the Garth Brooks story. But he's always come across as a guy who seems to be pretty benevolent person. He likes to do good things for people, and so I mean, if some shit happened, I mean, who knows? But it's
I get it.
Yeah,
it's almost like you have to have somebody accuse you of sexual harassment, or you're not cool anymore.
Whatever.
All right,
I was
buddy.
saying that's like busting me for stupid.
Let me ask you this, Joe. I got a question for you. So you just brought up that band Dogma, right?
Yeah.
And because I mentioned this earlier, so how do you go about finding new bands now? Is there is it word of mouth, or people send stuff to you, or a friend will say, "Let's check this out"? Like how do you go about it?
What happened was Dogma just popped up on my YouTube one time, and I looked at their video and album coming out. I said, "Oh, this looks fun," so I clicked on it. And I'm like, oh my God!
Look at those nuns.
These nuns are hot.
All right, hold on. Let me play this like a prayer teaser.
Okay.
Right.
Dogma. All right. Well, let me turn this around. You might want to see this. Definitely nuns, hot nuns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, they got the mask, or they got the face paint, and
yeah, their face painted up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can hear the music on the phone, but we're watching.
Oh yeah, that's
it sounds like a trailer for a movie or
September 27th.
Yeah, but that's their trailer for the music video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Jesus Christ.
Full-length songs out now. I know that.
That's no. That's I like stuff like that. Like when Ghost BC came out, I dug into them quite a bit because I just like stuff that's different. You know, I mean, I've been a fan of the the same stuff most of my life. So when I hear something, new,
I like that.
well, yeah, I'm a fan of music in general. Like if it's, I'm a big fan of the old outlaw country guys. Chris Christopherson died this week. That was a big loss for us.
Yeah, that was sad.
But but when it comes to music, I just like stuff that's different. If it's creative and it's not like something I've heard before, then I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'll grab this.
All right, listen.
That's
to
same reason why I like.
I'm sorry, I want to let you in a little secret for me.
Yeah.
All right, what's that?
I'm also an 80s freak. I like some of the poppy stuff.
Yeah. Like I mean, one of the bands to me that I think I shouldn't say doesn't get enough credit because they definitely have a psycho fan base, but The Cure.
The Cure! I can't wait till they come back.
Listen to a Cure record and like, how can you not like this? Like, that's the Smiths.
I love The Cure.
The Smiths.
The Smiths.
How it's to be so like down and dark but humorous at the same time. I like bands. Yes. I like bands that have like something to them where I go, okay, this is interesting. So it doesn't matter what genre it is. That's the same reason why I like Billie Eilish, because like Billie Eilish is not marching to the beat of anybody else's drum. Her and her brother are doing really creative and interesting shit.
Have you heard that?
And
new
it's
song?
just happened to catching with the pop world.
Yeah, they did the song for No Time to Die. Too.
Yeah, and the one for the Barbie movie, that What Was I Made For? That's a great fucking tune, man. And so
some of those movie soundtracks are really good.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Some of those are the best ones, I think. And I met Wilson Phillips at the Fanboy Convention.
Oh yeah. Well, you talk about
they're really sweet.
Wilson Phillips, like that whole group is like they're born of rock royalty. The Mamas and the Papas and the Beach Boys.
They were Poppy and Rocky, but also a lot of people don't know on their hit song "Hold On," Joe Walsh played guitar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're very good. Hey, real quick with Dogma, I was just listening to it. It sounds just like Madonna's song. I like it when a band does something different, makes it harder or something like that. It sounds too much just like.
Makes it harder and heavier.
Yeah.
And I remember when Like a Prayer came out, like that, wasn't it like controversial or something?
Oh, absolutely, because she was, she was wearing.
She made out with Black Jesus too.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
On this Dogma video, she screws Black Jesus.
Oh, I didn't get that far, man. Let me pull that back up.
When you watch the whole video, you see it. You'll see it. Oh my God! I was like, oh yeah, this band rocks.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned Billie Eilish earlier. She has a new song with Charlie XCS.
Yes.
And
it is super fucking
sexy,
sexually.
I like it.
Yeah. So basically, the song, Joe, is about women's. What would you say?
So there's a
sexual freedom. They're like, hey, we're allowed to talk about the same shit guys talk about, and they go graphically.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say graphic, but they're like, it's very to the point.
Well, yeah, but it's funny. It's like Billie Eilish is bi right now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean she's.
But Charlie XCS isn't, and if you listen to it, it's the point of view of like it would be like a guy who likes a lesbian woman who's so fucking hot,
Yeah.
It's the same perspective we always have.
Yeah.
Genders are just different, so it feels weird.
And I think in the video, aren't they like they have a bulldozer? They're dumping piles of panties and lighting them on fire and
I'm
shit.
not sure. I was afraid to watch the video.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video yet.
Yeah.
I have too many kids around my house to watch that video. Probably.
I mean, I respect all music nowadays. I mean, I just hit the bad boy role, so I probably played the bad boy role.
Yeah.
All right.
But like I said, my wimpiness has come out, and I think people don't look at me as a badass anymore. They look at me like, oh, this guy's really soft and nice.
You are. You are.
Well, yeah, that's who you really are, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who I really am.
Yeah, but it's okay to like be seen for who you are,
Exactly.
Unless you're an
and
asshole.
Also a lot of mixes. I mean, speaking of
yes,
like I was telling about Billie Eilish's "No Time to Die."
Yes.
Look at a band called The Logging. They have a heavy metal version of "Too Young to Die."
All right.
No Time to Die.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
Okay.
Do I have to look at it right now?
Check them out too. You don't have to look at it right now.
All right, thank you. This show's
Anyway.
running long. But all right. Hey, buddy, we thank you very much for your time.
One more thing I have to ask him about.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Joe, have you heard the new Motley Crue record yet?
Sucks.
It's terrible, right?
Does it?
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
All the crew hasn't done, and they should have stayed retired.
And
I'm going to say right now.
I will tell you this.
They haven't done anything. Nick Mars with what they did to him and
Yeah.
fucking him over when he's an original
And
member.
here's the
Fuck
thing,
him.
Joe.
Hold on, Joe.
The thing about it to me that I think is the most like in my mind, like when I listen to that, I listened to it today while I was working on my guitar workshop. The thing that bothers me the most is that John 5 is such a fucking nice guy, and he's such a great guitar player. He's such a great guitar player that I feel like he's getting dragged into this bullshit.
He is.
Because the guitar on that record is great, and what he's doing is amazing. But he's doing it with three guys who, well, I wouldn't say that. I'll say two guys, because I think Tommy Lee's heart's in the right spot, and I think Tommy's just a fun guy, and he's just going to do whatever his buddies want to do. But
you are bringing it up 100% true fact.
But I think Vince and Nikki have been the least talented people in that band for a very long time. And they're just
they haven't done anything since Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, and they're just trudging out this garbage. And Mick, they take Mick Mars, who was the talent in that band before Tommy got his shit together, and they fucking kick him out. And they put this show together. They covered "Fight for Your Right" by Beastie Boys, and it's fucking awful.
It was probably better than Dogs. I'll tell you this much: that cover is probably better than Dogs of War. But I heard the EP, like I said, I own it.
Yeah,
and it's awful.
It's terrible.
Well, they're supposed to have a residency next year in Las Vegas. Is that?
I'm not going.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. I listened to some of the live stuff on YouTube, and when they play their back catalog, they don't sound terrible.
It's the new stuff.
Backing tracks, you know that.
Yeah, I know that. But Vince's voice is definitely not there anymore. But
exactly.
if they're gonna,
they should have stopped. They should have stopped.
If they're gonna go to Vegas and just play their greatest hits and just put on a show and whatever, it won't be terrible, but it's not going to be the Motley Crue that you're used to seeing. I've seen them multiple times before.
It wasn't the Motley Crue I saw back in 1990, 91, 89.
No, I know. Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's just when I heard that record today, that was the first thing was like I felt so bad for John 5 because I'm like, that guy is he's one of the great guitar players of our generation. And he's just a super nice guy, and he's creative. He's everything you want in a musician. Like he's just one of those guys where you're like, you like to think that he can step into any spot and make it better. And then when you hear him with these guys, you're like, these are fucking clowns, man. He's basically trying to fucking put a supercharger on a clown car.
Exactly, 100%.
All right, bud. All right. We gotta move on. We could talk to you all night, and I think
I know we could.
I think you've said a lot. You said P. Diddy is still cool with you. You said
no. I did not think P. Diddy was cool with me.
You also flashed the camera.
Don't put words in my mouth, motherfucker.
You also were nude at a.
You
were nude on a documentary about Vixen.
Yeah.
You also I don't know threw a sack of kittens into a East River in New York City when you were up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make you sound more manly. Look, I love you. If anybody wants to follow you or learn more about you, what do they do?
Well, go to Facebook, and I'm trying to revamp the Metal Joe show on Mixcloud. I'm gonna DJ music videos and have interviews.
Oh, awesome!
All right. Well, good luck to that. I hope it all works out. So. All right, man. We will talk with you later, bud. Thank you for calling in.
All right, have a good night, buddy.
Hey, I have that clip he was talking about. P. Diddy explains to Conan O'Brien. You want to hear it?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard it, so.
I've heard it, but it's good. It's worth playing.
It's 2 minutes long.
What's the ingredient? What do you do to make just an amazing killer party? Because mine, I put out the Cheese Whiz. I put on the Paula Anka. No one comes. Wrong move.
See, you're doing the wrong things.
Wrong thing. Okay.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women, of course.
Okay, step one, beautiful women. Other than the one that I have, or the one that we have respectively.
Yes.
Where do we go to find beautiful women?
You're talking about the guy who's saying that right now is a guy who has.
Oh, this is where the sex trafficking comes in.
Yes. He has the ability to order in, I guess you'd say.
All right. I would be interested in how that works, not because I want to do it.
I've always thought, my thought on that, on paying for anything of that nature, has always been like, have you ever bought something that you really wanted and you got it home and you fucked around with it for a little bit and then you looked at your bills and you're like, what the fuck did I do that for?
I could have bought, like, a payment on the house.
Well, imagine paying, in some of these cases, a couple grand for a real high-end escort. As soon as you blow your load, you're like, the fuck did you do? Yeah.
You could have fucked a couch.
It's the worst. It has to be the worst buyer's remorse ever.
Yeah. All right.
Beautiful women.
Beautiful women.
Beautiful men for the ladies, of course.
Oh,
wouldn't it be
buying
better
men
if
too.
there weren't beautiful men there? There were just a lot of beautiful women and then just the guy?
No. You have to make. There's enough ladies to go around. You have to make the ladies, give the ladies what they need too. You have to take care of your women.
Take care of the ladies. Okay,
Ladies, yeah.
gotcha. That's good.
See, my innocent ass is thinking, all right, make sure we have tomatoes and celery sticks. At my party, these women are going to be taken care of. They might even have 4 different box wines to choose from. I'm taking care of these women. I didn't realize I had to get male prostitutes for the women, too.
That's what he's talking about, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem, because... anyway.
Can't force the situation.
Right. What about...
Can't force a square peg into a round hole.
That's the...
Untrue. I've seen a video on the internet.
I have a hammer.
Yeah. Well, no. There's this really funny video where this woman is watching somebody take the little kids things and puts it through the square hole.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Then they get the round one and she gets happy when it's starting to go to the round hole, but puts it in the square hole.
Yeah.
And it turns everything fits through that square hole.
Yeah.
And the woman gets more and more distraught as he's putting more things.
Yeah,
through.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that's a great video. Oh, but back to P Diddy putting his square dick into a round vagina.
Story of my life.
Is that not what he was saying? No?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, you need that.
I wish you had told me that a long time ago.
Well, I'm here now, brother. It's not too late.
What about celebrities?
Time out. Was he hitting on Conan O'Brien? That sounded like
there's a possibility.
Oh, geez. From
what I've heard lately, there's a possibility.
Conan's a tall dude.
I just want to clarify. If P. Diddy is into dudes, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You're not coming out.
You know what I'm saying? But the way that this is all coming across is, unfortunately, there's a segment of society, especially when it comes to hip hop, where it's like, if you're gay, you're weak. And so a lot of guys who are gay in hip hop don't ever come out, and they do this shit on the down low, and they end up having to go to means that damage other people to do it. And he seems to be one of those guys.
So people that didn't want to be at these freak parties,
or exploiting sex workers, or exploiting people who are maybe just need the money. And he's like, well, I'll pay your bills if you do this shit you don't want to do. A lot of that stuff.
Sometimes I think if I was a hot chick, I wouldn't mind being, paid for my services, but I'm thinking as a man, so
right, exactly, yeah.
You have a lot of celebrities. Killer party.
First, you have to listen. I'm giving you the menu.
Okay? It's flipping through a couple.
Okay. It's all right. He's learning. He's learning,
and I'm slow.
Yes.
I'm very slow.
Check it out. This is my man. We go way back, but he hasn't told y'all that. We'll talk about that later.
We go way back.
Way back. But check this out.
When was that, by the way?
He's totally hitting on him.
All right.
Okay. Now, we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just
Plurals.
different blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies. You need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. I don't know if guys have noticed this. A lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have. If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
All right, that's the clip.
Yeah. That's basically the I guess you'd say the money shot in that interview.
Lock
when
the
he talks about
doors.
locks on the doors. Because then there's also the video of him beating the shit out of his girlfriend in the hallway at that hotel. And the story of what that she told, there was a male prostitute in the room that he was trying to force her to have sex with while he watched, and she didn't want to do it, so she was trying to leave. And so he gets out of the shower and chases her down the hallway and grabs her by her hair, throws her down, stomps her in the hallway. Like, that's the guy we're talking about right now. Yeah. And she was a pop star. They called Cassidy. It was her name, her music name. So we're talking about a person who has a career on, of her own, with, to credit, like, he discovered her and made her a thing, but whatever, that doesn't give you the right to control this person's life. And so there's a lot of that.
Everybody I do a favor for, you have to have sex with me.
Well, there was an interview recently that I guess it wasn't a recent interview, but it came out recently, where Jennifer Lopez is on Ellen or one of the shows, and somebody goes, well, you're single now, P. Diddy's single, you're going to get back with P. Diddy. And she makes this face, and she's like, they said, oh, her mother's out there. She's shaking her head no.
Oh.
So I guess she probably knows, she's got. That's the big problem that they're facing right now, is like a lot of people that know shit aren't saying anything because they know that if they decide to speak their name, those videos are going to come out,
Oh, please say something, Jennifer. What? Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. You know what? Even if something like that would get released, I think I have a little bit too much of a conscience to.
I know what you mean.
Watch it for more than 10 seconds.
There's a lot of stuff, like when stuff like that comes out against somebody's will. It's just it's one of those things that, I mean, because revenge porn is an actual fucking law now. Like, you can be charged for that shit.
Really? It
like
is?
If you release shit that somebody sent to you privately because you're pissed off and you decide to post it online or try to shame the person or whatever, it's a form of stalking. Like, you can actually
Is there a
catch
statute
charge
of
for that
limitations? Like, wait until 10 years go by and
I
then
don't
put
know.
it up?
I'm not sure.
It's a different person.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But but it's gotten to a point now where it's like that they've tried to like crack down a lot of this shit. But yeah, there's laws in place for that shit now.
Yeah. All right. Well, just don't do it. Don't post naked pictures of people that don't want to be posted. And just be happy you got some naked pictures sent.
I've said it 100 times, and I'll say it again in this case. I don't understand how people who are in a position like him, like he's nearly a fucking billionaire.
They get bored, man.
Why can you not? But dude, okay, so you're bored, so go buy an island, buy a race car team. Like,
they do buy the island, then they have sex parties on it.
But how if you have the world has been handed to you, and you find a way to fuck it up, it makes no sense to me.
It doesn't. I can only imagine that it's when you get to the point in your life where you can have anything. That one thing you're not supposed to have.
Right, I get that. Yeah.
You got to have it.
I get that. I still, I understand that explanation. I've heard it before.
But I don't understand
But
it.
I still don't understand. It's like, listen, man, you fucking won the lottery. You can literally do whatever you want with your life, and so you choose to fucking go that way, and I mean, it's one thing to break the law, but it's another thing to like destroy other people in the process just for your own fucking your own enjoyment. Like, I don't understand that.
He has kids, right?
Yeah. And his kids obviously are standing behind him right now because they're saying it's not true. But it's like, and like when I won't say names just because, I haven't asked them if I can talk about it, but I was having a conversation with somebody and they're like, so what's illegal about you're having a party and a video comes out and someone's saying, oh, I was, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do it. And then a video comes out with you a dick in your mouth and you're smiling. How are you going to argue against that?
Yeah.
And I think, and then I get a text message that next morning from the same person going, hey, I did a little bit of a deep dive and yeah, this dude's guilty. This is fucked up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's the more we learn about what actually happened, it almost seems like one of those like Willy Wonka sort of situations. Like you come into this world and of this party he's throwing and you're like, oh, this is great. And then all of a sudden out comes the fucking a horse and it's fucking some chick on a table in front of you and you're like, what the fuck? I need to get out of here.
Whoa,
and then you turn around and there's a camera on you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dude, I do there's this one time I can't remember the circumstances that led me there, but I went. Basically, was at a party, and some people started doing the cocaine. I'm not into that shit, and when these people, I was with a couple people, and they decided to try it. Hey, it's free cocaine. The guy that supplied it, guess what? He whipped out his camera while people started sniffing it. He started videoing. I'm like, I'm definitely not doing this shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it felt kind of like one of those things where they wanted to make sure that they had people just so nobody could rat on them or something.
Yeah. So that's like, you want to rat on me while I got video you doing that shit. So you want to go down with me. Yeah. And I think a lot of that now is what's going on is when people are doing shit they're not supposed to be doing, they want to have cameras there because it's like it sort of eliminates the fucking witness situation because they say,
what?
oh yeah, you told the cops, well here you are here, so
When I was a kid, I learned early that telling the truth was just easier.
Yeah.
And I'm lazy, and now that I'm an adult, just doing the right thing and not being a fucking pervert and disgusting is probably easier than getting in trouble for something. So just don't diddy things.
Yeah.
Don't P. Diddy your life, and stay on the straight and narrow.
Well, and also I just think
Maybe
in
not so
general,
straight.
like being a good person and doing nice things for people and seeing the fruit of your labors in that way, it's just far more rewarding than just being a fucking hedonistic fuck and breaking people down just so you can have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I think anyway.
Maybe 1 weekend, 2 weekend, have some fun. Break a few whores.
Yeah.
I mean, hookers, whatever you want to call them, whatever the working name is. But, leave it at that, But
yeah.
All right. You know what? We've been rambling on a lot. Let's take another break. When we come back, I'll get to my TV shows and celebrity deaths, and we'll wind it on that high note of celebrity deaths.
All right. We can do that. So, man.
Is this song about a butthole or a penis?
There's so many the great names of songs. Okay.
Today is National Apple Betty Day.
Okay. This is the best. Oh man. Okay, this I got the one I'm going to break with and the one we're coming back with just on song titles alone.
Today is also
again
Get Funky Day. Are we about to get funky?
I don't know. The Fat Dukes of Fuck.
Who Metal Joe had not heard of.
Yeah.
Until tonight.
This song is called Full Metal Jack Off.
Take your loss, go fuck yourself. Give me my liberty. First you chase my licorice, then say it tastes like shit. Then sober up and suck my cock, you fucking hypocrite. Hold your dick like a loaded gun. Pull it out and hurt someone. Hold your dick like a weapon, man. Say
all right, you're listening to Pop Culture Radio.
I need a beer.
right. This is Where Assholes Come to Die by the Fat Dukes of Fuck.
Oh.
Dude, there's song titles like I know what song I'm playing to end the show with. It has to do with the celebrity deaths that we're going to talk about, but like the song titles on these guys, man. Like this is the album. What is this called? A Compendium of Desperation, Morality, and Dick Jokes from 2017.
Mm-hmm.
The first the songs are that title track, Whiskey and Bathwater, Mother of Rhea Perlman, Full Metal Jackoff, Side by Side, Where Assholes Come to Die, Tasteful Ray, No Single Men, Laughlin Longhorn Suicide Fuck, Kodiak Arrest, the Monotonous Adventures of a Hopeaholic, Promise Keepers, and I'll Tell You When It Hurts. Like all of their albums have titles that like that's why I was picking what Too Much Dicks, Grandma Merman versus the Beast and Jason's Dick. Don't Take That Pussy Away, Puddle of Fudge, Die Christians Die. It's like all of their albums have song titles that I'm like, I mean, their 2009 album is called You and Your Opinion, and one of the songs is called Pubis O Fire. Yeah. One song is called Will There Be Poop? His Dick Is Like God, Death Fuck, Penetration Celebration. There was an album called they have an album called A Nasty Name for a Nasty Thing. And that one has the old I said the old classic song, Race Riot Vagina. It has Girth is a Dessert Best Served Cold. Shit-Filled Suit. Footbag on a String. Waltz of the Geriatrics.
All right, so you have one picked out for the end of the show.
No, I'm gonna dig into these guys more. Eventually, you'll do something to fuck it all up. Is the name of one of their song titles.
That's the soundtrack of my life.
I'm gonna reach out to these guys and see if I can get one of them on the show to talk about it, because they have a song called Taco Pussy.
So obviously they're not concerned about airplay.
No. They have a song called Milk the White Titty. They have a song called Catwoman is Dead. They have a song called Too Proud for Prostitution. Tights, Whips, and Length. Tights times whips times length.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I mean these guys obviously are they don't give half a fuck.
Yeah. I like that. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
In certain things, I like that.
Yeah, I like the whole idea of being one of those bands where it's like you don't take yourself too seriously, but everything I've played from them, like musically speaking, they're musically sound. They're great musicians. They're very competent when it comes to being able to play their shit.
Yeah.
But it's like they name their songs whatever the fuck they want, and they don't take themselves so seriously that they're worried about being portrayed a certain way, you know?
And they seem kind of unapologetic, which I like.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool. I'll definitely give him a listen too. I mean, Metal Joe won't be. Apparently, he's not into that. But
it's a little too high up or a little too low on the low hanging fruit for him, I think.
Yeah, whatever. I hate stretching, so give me that low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through some of this stuff. Third segment, a little buzzed, so words will be slurred. Will and Harper, new TV show. We're jumping into TV real quick.
Yeah.
I have the trailer here. I'm not going to play it. We've got time. But basically, that's about Will Ferrell, the Saturday Night Live guy, Elf.
Yeah.
He apparently had a longtime friend who was a writer.
The lead writer on SNL. So the person's name was Andrew Steele at that point. Hired as a writer.
That's a good, strong name.
Hired as a writer on SNL the same season that Will was hired as a cast member.
Okay.
And so they kind of formed a connection as the two new guys.
And they became lifelong friends?
Became lifelong friends, and then
So
during the
far.
pandemic, Will gets an email from Andrew that says, "Hey, just so you know, I mean, I'm 61 years old, and it probably seems pointless at this point, but I'm transitioning into a woman. It's something I've fought with all my life, and I'm finally just made the decision. I'm going to be happy, and I don't give a fuck." And
That's awesome.
And so this documentary is and this person was someone who would like to hitchhike around the country, like to go into dive bars, like to just basically travel around the country and just be a free spirit. And with transitioning, started to feel like maybe there's a lot of those places I can't go anymore. And Will was like, "No, fuck that." And they got in there they got in her Jeep Wagoneer, and they just went on a road trip around the country and went to all the dive bars, went to the stock car races, went to the middle of Oklahoma and Texas and all these places where she thought maybe I won't be welcome anymore, and just said, "Well, fuck it. So what if you're not?" And they just went and did it.
But she was with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, with Will Ferrell, yeah.
Everybody knows him, and you're going to be a little bit
But
nicer.
there's a lot of situations where like they pulled up at this little fucking shitty dive bar, and she says, "Stay in the car. I want to go inside by myself. I want to see that I'm accepted by myself first." So there's a lot of that happens in this show.
Very cool.
And there's also a lot of hate that Will gets on Twitter and on his Instagram
For hanging around
with her. So so it's like it shows all sides of it. But what I think is cool about it is there's every single place they go, there's at least one or two people who are just like, "Hey man, I appreciate what you're doing."
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
There's a lot of positive to it.
So it's called Will and Harper. Check it out. Is it a limited series?
It's on Netflix. It's a documentary. It's an hour and 54 minutes.
Just one show.
It's one documentary.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
I'm flipping through some of these things, and they're like, "Here's a new reality something or whatever," and I flip on it. It's like 6 episodes. I'm like, screw that shit.
Yeah.
Give me 1 or 2, and that's enough. That's all my mind can handle. God damn it. All right. Another good show. I call it good. It's more of a cringe factor. The guy that would go into bars and tell them what was wrong with their shitty bars and how to fix it has gone into marriage counseling, more or less. But to be fair, on Bar Rescue, sometimes there would be like a family bar, and they've been really like fucked up and hate each other, don't talk to each other. This man comes in there for 3 or 4 days, and they're fucking like talking like they've never talked to each other before. So
yeah,
there might be something to that. So running a bar successfully is a lot like marriage counseling, apparently. And the new show is Marriage Rescue. I would say check it out. Like 1 or 2 episodes. It's kind of funny how this guy kind of like just yells at people and their marriage is fixed. So, I mean, Brittany yells at me all the time. We're not even married yet, so I think we're going to have a strong foundation.
That's fucking great.
I love that woman. So there's that. Expedition. Okay, I talked about that earlier. Talked about how the cute girl's gone. Now I want you to listen to this real quick. When they come back for their very first episode of the new season, you think they'd like say, "Hey, this chick that's been here for the past 7 years doing stuff which everybody loves and blah blah blah. This is what happened to her." But they pretty much don't mention her at all. It's like totally snubbed.
Yeah.
So I think something
that
must
happens
have
a
went down.
lot though in entertainment.
Really?
Yeah, it's just it's more so moving forward than it is a dismissal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just like why we have a finite amount of time to create this
we're going for.
What we're doing here. There's no sense in going backward. We're moving forward. So there's somebody who's not there anymore. It's
right.
not very often that you see they go into an explanation on why someone's not there.
But I mean, it's just for 7 years she's been a part of it, and then boom, 8 year come along, and just
yeah.
All right. Listen to this.
Okay.
This is
All right. First things first, Heather. Welcome to Expedition Headquarters, and more importantly, to the Expedition X family.
Great. Thank you so much.
We're thrilled to have you.
Thanks.
Are you?
I didn't realize her name is Heather also, just like Head Trauma Heather. I should turn this around for you so you can get a good look at her. Like I said, she's not ugly. She's not like super hot, but she's cute. And she's kind of cute in the way that Hawk 2 is really popular and hot.
Okay.
She's like, she's a solid 6 or 7, 6.5, and you kind of think after a couple drinks you could get her,
And the personality has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, she's definitely crazy. So.
Excited?
Yeah. Are you joking? I have been fascinated with the paranormal my entire life.
She's hot,
and
dude.
I'm a third-generation investigator. So.
Oh, pause that for a second right there. She's hot?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, when I looked over, I expected to see someone who was like an everyday kind of like person you would see. No, she's like, if she walked into any room that we're in or any place that we're in, people would look and go, "Oh, that's a hot chick."
You'd be lucky to have her.
Yeah,
okay,
I think,
all right. I'll give you that. Maybe because of, like, the things she says.
Well,
like what she just
I
said
totally
there.
know what you're talking about.
Like
there's plenty of people that people go, "Oh, this woman is beautiful," and I'm like, I don't see it. And I think it's just because I don't like their personality, or maybe what they do isn't really for me, or whatever. I get that.
Yeah. All right. I don't. Let me go back 10 seconds. Let me see if you heard what she just said. Hold on.
Are you excited?
Yeah. Are you joking? I have been fascinated with the paranormal my entire life, and I'm a third-generation investigator. So joining.
All right. Pause that for a second.
Third generation.
Third generation. That means her
father and her grandfather,
or
mother and her grandmother. Yeah.
And yeah, and she said this is what she's been prepared for her entire life. Now, there's a movie that we're all familiar with, and in this one scene, Mr. Venkman asked a librarian a certain question. Let me play this for you. I don't know if you remember this scene in Ghostbusters.
As a friend, I have to tell you, you're finally going around the bend on this ghost business.
I thought I queued it up better than this. This is them walking in. Hold on, where do they talk to the freaking librarian?
This is the librarian that saw the ghost. Yeah.
It totally reset. I'm sorry. I'm usually halfway better than this. Here we go.
Ask you a couple of standard questions, okay? Have you or any member of your family ever been diagnosed schizophrenic, mentally incompetent?
I just want to remind you, third generation paranormal investigator. I call that a big yes. This is what I was trying to do. But anyway, this chick is on there. She's replaced the cute one who like used to pretend to be a paranormal investigator. But this one
now they got a real one.
And some of the toys she has kind of make me jealous. And I'm going to use some of my my yard sale money funds to probably buy some of these. Like she has like the EMF detectors, but somehow they're connected by a cord, and she'll throw them down a hallway, and these motherfuckers will change colors as she's talking, as if something's walking towards her. It's
wow.
Pretty fucking sweet. And there's this other thing, which part of me is like, it's just scanning random radio waves. I think it's called a spirit box.
Yeah, spirit box.
And it's supposed to scan radio transmissions, and the ghost apparently listens to all stations at once. And if you ask it a question, it'll zoom in on like one or two words and let you hear those out of all these transmissions. And I think it's the stupidest fucking thing. But on this program, this blonde Heather chick, she asked the fucking spirits that aren't there questions, and the spirit box will come in and have an answer that's like that correlates with what she asked.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen spirit boxes on a lot of shows. Lately, I've watched a lot of the Jack Osborne stuff.
Yeah,
and he uses them a lot. But I wanted to fuck around with one of those things because I've had some interesting shit happen in this house, and it's just curious.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna buy one of these spirit boxes just so we can use it in here, see if we get anything.
Yeah.
I've had psychics and shit talk about how there's ghosts following me, like dead people, and maybe they'll communicate. So we're gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna do that.
We'll do that. All right.
And if I'm still a skeptic, I'll probably be a skeptic until I die and realize that there's nothing there, and then I'll be a firm non-believer.
I personally believe that when you're not a skeptic, that's when you're lost. You have to be skeptical, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the normal curiosity of a human being is to be skeptical. You can have things happen in your life that maybe, lead you to believe that maybe there's something there. But if you just follow like hook, line, and sinker, fall into everything, then no, I think that's the point where you're pretty much done.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This kind of ties in. This does tie in to celebrity. This is celebrity death. For the past couple seasons of American Pickers, I've noticed that the portly gentleman Frank has not been part of it anymore.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, Discovery Channel or History Channel, whatever they're on, they did these new graphics with like animated characters, and they had Frank and the tall, skinny guy.
Yeah.
And then Frank was gone, and again, I'm like, just like with Expedition X, like somebody just disappearing. I'm like, did they have sex or something? You know?
They must have fucked.
No, I love the guy because he was into motorcycles and women, and
Yeah.
and he would. If there was a halfway attractive woman like at one of the pics, he would be hitting on them.
Yeah.
The bearded charmer is what he was called, and I guess he really actually had health problems. That's why he left, and it wasn't sex.
I think they said he had a stroke a few years ago
He
and
did.
then never fully recovered from it.
Yep, and he had back problems too, which is the original reason why he left. But you know, it's another thing. Like you go back and watch some of these episodes, which are 10 years old now.
Yeah,
and you see that person so alive and on that fucking TV show, but they're gone. They're dead.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling.
It is. That's one of the strangest things to me to wrap my head around with, people passing away that are close to you. I've had a lot of close friends that passed away, and it's a weird thing just to not have that person around anymore. And then when you see videos or you remember things, hanging out and parties and conversations, and then that person no longer exists is a really hard thing to wrap your head around.
It is. And then if you're cremated, you're really like totally gone. Like,
you're
erased.
You're erased from the. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think I think eventually I'm going to get buried, because just so that there's a possibility like 2,000 years from now they could find me and I could be in a museum about how that generation that fucked the world up.
This is something of a morbid curiosity, but to me, I think it's cool to know that. So one of my favorite cities in the fucking country is Boston. And it has nothing to do with I'm not saying this just to humor Brittany or anything, but I really love Boston for a lot of reasons. But one of the things that's cool to me about Boston.
You like getting yelled at?
Boston's one of the. I'll tell you this. I love New York City.
They yell at you there too, yeah.
But I don't love it for the reasons that I. So listen, I love New York City for what it is. It's New York City. It's the city that never sleeps. It's the Big Apple. It's like there's all these things to love about that city. I don't think I could ever live there. I don't think I could ever live a lot of places. But the thing I love about Boston is that people there just love to be from Boston. You know what I mean? And it's not like the big talkers and the shit talkers from New York. It's just that people seem to be happy to be from Boston. And what I love about it is you go down to Faneuil Square, Quincy Market, you get a beer, you fucking have a couple drinks, you walk around the city, and then you stumble into this tiny little cemetery that's sandwiched between fucking high-rises and condos, and here's Paul Revere's grave.
Yeah.
Isn't
that crazy?
And the thing the morbid curiosity to me is just standing in front of that headstone and just going, 6 feet beneath my feet right now. If I had a shovel and no supervision,
you could be there.
I could be holding the fucking jacket that Paul Revere was buried in. You know what I mean? There's something about that person might be dead, but their remains and their human vessel is still in this box right underneath my feet here, and it's almost like a time capsule or something. But it's like that person is still right here. You know what I mean? And there's something strange about that.
And you're
it's
only
not
talking...
like meeting a celebrity, but it's just like going, hey, there are mountains of history in boxes under this ground right now. That same cemetery, Samuel Adams buried there, Crispus Attucks, John Hancock, Benjamin Franklin's parents are buried there. Like, you're talking about like a cemetery from the colonial times, you know?
And it's only been 200 years with that one. Imagine,
right, yeah.
Imagine 2,000 years from now when maybe America isn't America anymore. Maybe it's something else. Maybe we had a worldwide extinction event or something.
Yeah.
And people are excavating like the Boston area.
Yeah.
And they find all these people. It's going to be rad. Anyway, that's why I think I might not want to be burned up just so they could find me. My corpse and my skeleton with all my cremated dogs around me.
It's definitely a dark thought to have, but just the idea to me that Johnny Cash's skeleton is still
there.
here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, obviously laws and respect and all those other things keep you from doing it. But literally in a box beneath your feet down there, there's Johnny Cash wearing the white suit that he was buried in is still here on this earth somewhere. You know, it's just kind of cool to me.
Rad. All right. Speaking of deaths, a bunch of notable people died. I'll run through them quickly. I know we're pushing on time. Phil Donahue.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Big man.
I remember Phil Donahue to me was like it was a privilege to watch the Phil Donahue show because if I was watching that means I didn't go to school that day.
Yep. Phil Donahue, who Sarah Jesse Raphael, she was around.
Sally
that time.
Jesse Raphael.
Whatever, Sarah.
But Phil Donahue, the best part about him was he would get so frustrated that when he would have guests on his show that were just saying crazy shit or like they just had like didn't have a great grasp on reality, and he would just get that look on his face where he'd throw his hands up and go, "So why did you do it?"
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you doing this? And he would just get so frustrated with people.
Exactly. That he let what's inside all of us.
Yeah,
show
exactly.
for
Yeah.
a little bit. Also, this guy I'm not as familiar with, John Amos. He died. Who was that?
John Amos was the father on Good Times.
That's right.
He played James Evans on that show.
I'll look him up real quick.
The funniest interaction I had with obviously the people I work around. There's only a handful of people who would ever know Good Times in that show. That was the show that had Jim.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah,
John Amos. Okay.
Dynamite.
Yep.
J.J. Walker, but his wife on the show was Florida Evans. That was her character name. Her name was Esther Roll. Esther Roll was also in Scarlet, the movie that was the sequel to Gone with the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
But what you will know her from is there was a character or a guy who was involved with the Monsters for a while named D-Roll.
Oh yeah,
that was her nephew, Esther Roll's nephew.
Oh.
But on the show, when I
Small
told
world.
my buddy Chris at work, I was like, "Hey man, John Amos died," and he said, "Damn, because that's what Esther Roll would say on the show as Florida Evans.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, but he's one of those guys where as soon as you see his face, a lot of people go, "I never watched that show." Look him up. When you see his face, you're like, "I know that guy from it." He was in, I think he was in Die Hard. He was in a ton of stuff, man. He was around. He was in a lot of things.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. Starting from 71, Vanishing Point, World's Greatest Athlete.
Yep. Metal Joe just commented he was also in Coming to America.
All right. The Beast. Yeah, he was like the king or something. Like yeah.
I thought he was either he either worked for the king or no. I think he was
Cleo McDowell.
He was the father. I think he might have been the father of the girl
the woman. That's
the
it.
girl that Eddie Murphy was trying to marry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He was in Die Hard 2. Die Hard 2. I'm looking through. I know you guys probably know more of these, but yeah, he was in a bunch of them. So yeah, rest in peace. That sucks for you.
I think he was 84. He had a good long life, man.
Yeah. Well, that still seems young to me.
It does. I know. And the older we get, the younger shit seems.
I remember hearing like when I was in like high school, like a friend's dad died at 40, and I'm like, well, he had a full long life.
Oh yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
James Earl Jones, Darth Vader dead.
Yeah, man. And you know what? The thing I've noticed, so when he died, James Earl Jones is something different to each generation. To me, when I hear James Earl Jones, I immediately think of Darth Vader, and the second thing I think of is that, but I also immediately think of Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Grew up lifelong baseball fan. That movie to me as a kid was like it just blew my mind because I'm like, wouldn't it be fucking cool, man, if that was real?
Yeah.
But to the younger generation, he's Mufasa.
Yep.
He's a lot of things to a lot of people, man. He literally his career. Oh yeah, also Coming to America connection. Metal Joe just commented he was in Coming to America. He was the king. So I mean that's John Amos and James Earl Jones both connected to Coming to America. But
well, if Eddie Murphy dies the next week, there's something with this movie.
Yeah, the movie's cursed. They should have never made the sequel.
Oh, maybe. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, moving on. Tito Jackson dead. Is it Jackson 5 gone now?
Only two of the kids are dead. Well, yeah.
Michael and Tito?
Michael and Tito, that's it.
Oh, that's it? All right. So we're
Jermaine's still around.
All right.
Do what you do when you did what you did to me.
We're down to the Jackson 3 then.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Chris Christopherson, you mentioned him earlier.
That's the one that fucking did it for me, man.
Well,
yeah, he was,
really?
Yeah, he was like, that was a big one. Like he's one of the Highwaymen. The Highwaymen was the first country supergroup. It was Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson. Like you're talking about like a songwriter, like one of the greatest songwriters that ever lived. That was that guy.
Yeah, and dude, even when he was older, he's a handsome man.
His last appearance was at Willie Nelson's 90th birthday party. He came out and he sang "Loving You Is Easier Than Anything I'll Ever Do Again" with Rosanna Cash, Johnny Cash's daughter.
Yeah, like 88 years old. He went back in time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that guy was a monster, and also he was a certifiable badass. The guy was a Marine that was also a boxer, and when he decided not to be in the military anymore, wanted to be a songwriter, his family pretty much said, well, that not my son. And Johnny Cash met him at a recording studio and felt bad for him and said, I'll record one of your songs. That song ended up being Sunday Morning Coming Down, and that was it. That's
the name of the
Joseph Martin show on Real Radio in the mornings.
I love that show. Yep. When I'm up in that time.
Just that line. I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt.
Yep.
And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert.
Yeah. A buddy of mine explained that to me. He's like, Saturday night, you go out, you get fucked up. Sunday, you got to come down from it,
Yeah.
And then whatever. All right. So rest in peace, Chris. Whatever.
Yeah.
Another famous actress died. Actor, I should say. I guess you're supposed to say that now.
Yeah.
Is actress not a word anymore? Or?
No, it's actually they still give awards for best actress at the at the award shows. So,
well, this actress wasn't just an actor. She was also a dame.
Yes.
And what does that mean? Not just some 1950s.
No, that's
word for a woman. That dame. Look at that dame.
What I understand is that's the female equivalent to a knight.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask the Google. What is a Hold on. What is a dame? All right. This is Dame Judy. We're talking Dame Maggie Smith, not Dame Judy Dench.
Judy Dench is still around. Oh, by the way, if you're interested, there's a movie, a documentary on one of the streaming services called Tea with the Dames, and it's all of the four dames of England. It's Judi Dench, Maggie Smith, I can't remember who the other two are, and it's basically them just having tea and telling stories about their career in entertainment. It's so fucking fascinating.
Sounds good. All right. A dame, just so you guys know, is the title given to a woman equivalent to the rank of a knight. All right. So let me then ask the Google, what does it mean to be a knight? So serving as a mounted man at arms under a federal superior in the Middle Ages. Now, could you imagine Maggie Smith's riding a fucking horse in a? Nowadays, it's an honorary title of knighthood for services in the monarch, the church, blah 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 blah. All right, so it basically meant nothing. It's just, hey, not Judy. God, before Maggie Smith died, the only dame I knew was what's her name, Judy.
Yeah, Judi Dench.
Is she also a knight?
Yes. Yeah, she's a dame. Yeah. And also
I never knew that. I just
Eileen Atkins and Joan Plowright are the other two, and the one Tea with the Dames I was talking about. It's streaming on Acorn, AMC Plus, IFC, and Prime Video. But it's really fun because all of them, their careers span fucking decades. And for Joan Plowright is one of the names. When I first saw that, I'm like, I know her from something. She played Martha Wilson in Dennis the Menace, the one with Walter Matthau.
Okay, yep.
But she's been around forever. She was in The Entertainer in 1960. that song that you've always heard, The Entertainer.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I have no music.
She played. She was in Curious George. She's been in a ton of stuff, but she's one of those names again where when you look up her picture, and as soon as you see her, you're gonna go. As soon as you see that picture, look.
Yep.
You're like, I know that person. You know, it's. There you go. Yeah.
This is what plays when I shower.
And also, this is another one that you'll recognize. Eileen Atkins from The Face.
Recognize her face? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff, Robin Hood and all kinds of things. But yeah, these are women who had to weather a climate that at that time, if you were a female actress, you were just the best you could be. Joe just said The Sting, which I remember that movie. I'm not sure what part, which actress he's talking about, but there's a lot of these movies where when you look them up, or a lot of these actresses, you look up their IMDb and you're like, oh, she was in this, she was in this, she was in this. And you don't realize it until you start like checking into these people and go, oh, this person's been acting since 1948.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I started looking. I'm like, all right, she's been around from the 70s. Like, why did they knight her? I kind of looked into it, or just, what does that mean? It says Maggie Smith became a dame by Queen Elizabeth II, rest in peace, in 1990 for her contributions to the arts.
Yeah, because she was a theater actress primarily.
But I started looking at her IMDb, and it looks like there's a little bit of gap between 1987 to 1990 when she then did Hook.
Yeah, and then she all of a sudden just everything she did after that was a blockbuster.
Yeah, but okay, so my question is, was she damed and then became super popular, or like there seemed to be a break there for 3 years and then she was damed and became popular? Was it a way to get her back, or what the hell
happened? I don't know.
There?
Yeah, who knows?
Well, both of them are dead now. God damn it, we can't ask.
We can't ask them. Oh, he said the song that you're playing was from the movie The Sting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. Thank you for that. Because we need to be 100%
accurate.
Accurate. All right. We got one more happy thing. Do you have echo on me?
I don't. I can't pull up the echo. Yeah, do it yourself. There you go. You can do it.
We have deaths in sports. That was horrible. I was trying to do like how the announcer.
Yeah.
And coming in number one is Dikembe. I can't say his name.
Dikembe Mutombo.
How do you spell that?
Dikembo is his first name. His last name Mutombo.
All right.
He was. I think he was either from Nigeria or Senegal.
I don't know where any of those places are.
He was from Africa.
Not from America.
But he was most people now who didn't remember or who weren't around for basketball in the 90s, late 80s and 90s, where Dikembe Mutombo was one of the most dominant centers in basketball. He was the guy who blocked shots and kept people from scoring.
He was all defense, no real offense, though.
Well, no, he was a great offensive player too, but I mean
really?
that was his bread and butter was his defense. But what people will remember him for is the Geico commercial where he was slapping the cereal box out of the guy's cart.
Yes.
And he goes,
that was him?
Not in my house. Yeah.
Oh.
Because that's what he used to do when you block people's shots. He would wag his finger and not in my house. That was him.
And they told him he had to stop that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's funny because, when you think about that, that's what people, a newer generation will remember him for. But I'm like, no, the guy was a monster, man.
Not in my house.
It seemed like his shoulders were 5 feet wide, man. He was just, he was 7'1" or 7'2", I think. But it's just he had such broad shoulders. He was such a big, imposing figure that I can't imagine anyone with a basketball wanting to go up the middle and try to take this guy on,
Yeah. And Dikembe Mutombo was a shortened version of his name.
Oh, really?
Did you know this? Hold
No.
on. His real name is super long. Let me.
Minutes to go in the half.
This is an old broadcast where they mentioned it. Hold on.
Dumars. No one there except Hornacek of the West.
Hold on.
Mutombo.
How Hornacek saw him coming down the floor, I'll never know, because he was a good 8 yards behind him in transition, yet he knew that there was somebody in a blue shirt there. He found him.
Hold on. They're
Here
going to say
comes
it.
a young man from Georgetown and Zaire.
I think they're going to
You
say
talk
it.
about
Zaire.
trailers, this is the ultimate trailer. About 2 seconds behind, but finishes.
Mutombo came to Georgetown, couldn't speak English, learned English through French, one of 5 languages he speaks. When he came off the plane, John Thompson was there to greet him. Thompson didn't believe he was 7'2", and Dikembe told us when Coach Thompson saw me, he didn't bother to go anywhere near any bookstore. He said he got me a pair of tennis shoes. He said, I just want to see how you handle the basketball.
Well, John, being as smart as he is, what he actually did is he sent a scout and said, look, if this guy's really small, don't bring him around the gym or our offices, but if he's legit, bring him right over.
That is Dikembe Mutombo's full name. He said he wants to.
All right, they didn't actually say it, so they put it on the screen. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different words.
Okay.
Dikembe Mutombo, Mapalando, Mukamba, Jean. Yeah, there's a Jean in there. Jaku Wamatumbo. No,
Wow.
I think that he
See
actually,
his name in lights. Boy, it's going to take a lot of neon.
You go ahead and take it.
Okay, they don't. Okay, that wasn't the clip I was going for, but that was his name. There's one clip that I heard this morning when I was like prepping for the show. I wish I would save some things sometimes, but he actually says it, and it literally sounds like that time in Sesame Street where Big Bird says the alphabet backwards.
Oh yeah,
that's what it fucking sounds like. And I wish I would have cued. I wish
that's awesome.
I wish I was a better host.
You know, he was only 58.
I know, but tall people, big people die.
He had
quicker.
brain cancer.
Yeah, sucks. That sucks. Well,
I wonder if when the doctor told him he had brain cancer, if he wagged his finger at the doctor and said, "Not in my brain."
That's funny. I wish I would work. But all right. One other not funny death, but one other death we can hope he rests in peace is Pete Rose.
Yeah, man.
One of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Didn't do himself any favors.
No.
Yeah, he was one of the things I think will tarnish his reputation and his career forever is not being able to accept the things he did wrong. Because he defended himself to his death and never would fully admit that. Even there's a documentary recently called Charlie Hustle. They just did it. It's on Max. And he contradicts himself so many times, and he won't just say, okay, yeah, I did it. But the fact of the matter is he's one of the greatest baseball players that ever lived. Bar none.
I thought he did admit that he did it.
No, he should be in the Hall of Fame without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because his contribution, what he did on the field and what that man knew, his baseball IQ was off the charts. The way he processed the game and the way he was able to play the game was beyond remarkable. But the fact of the matter is he lied a lot. He was less than honest about a lot of things. He probably could have done himself some favors and just threw himself on the mercy of the court, and he probably would be in the Hall of Fame right now. But he fought it, and I think he should have just owned up to what he did, because I honestly don't think that what he did was that fucking bad. He bet on baseball. Okay, I get that. But the fact that he wasn't as forthcoming as he could have been, and I think all that could have been over with. But he definitely played the game harder than anybody I know I've witnessed in my lifetime. And not only that, I mean, he's the all-time hit leader, 4,255 career hits. He broke Ty Cobb's record. He's just one of those guys that he literally, when you look at his stats and you go, this fucking guy was the real deal. I mean, one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game. And the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame, same thing goes for people like Shoeless Joe Jackson, who was banned from baseball in 1919 with the whole Black Sox scandal. I mean, those guys need to be in the Hall of Fame. Whether you like what they did or you were a fan of them or whatever. I mean, Ty Cobb killed a man in a poker game, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Did he really?
Yeah. Pete Rose should be there.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, especially with all the, like, this, you watch any sporting event now, and if it goes to a commercial, they're encouraging you to fucking gamble. I mean, granted, you're not
right.
a
It's
player.
a different world now than it was then. But I mean, so in my trophy case, I have a lot of baseball collectibles, and in the front row, which are the ones that are my prized collection, are autographed baseballs. Pete Rose was the last one alive, and he died. So now all my front row is dead.
Do you have one of the baseballs where he says, "I'm sorry, I bet on baseball," or just a
No, I just have a signature. I met him at an Orlando Magic game and bought that baseball from Score Company, he was working with them at the time. That's how he was basically paying his bills. So it's just his signature. But I have Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Ted Williams, and Pete Rose. Those are my main five. I have others. But like Jose Canseco was a big deal when I was a kid. He kind of same thing, the steroid scandal and all that other shit. He was another person who's hard to defend. Ken Griffey Jr., guys like that. But my main five are the ones who were the heroes that I grew up through my granddad playing baseball and hearing all the stories and watching all the old videos.
Mm-hmm.
Those five were like the ones who I thought were the greatest guys who ever, I would say that were alive at the time that I could collect things from them,
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. It sucks that he died. And earlier this year, when I was trying to think of like Christmas presents for everybody, I thought about getting one of those balls for you that says like "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry, I bet on baseball.
But
yeah.
you already had one,
Yeah.
so like what the fuck? So I'm glad I went.
He had a good sense of humor about it. You remember that commercial, the Skechers commercial he did?
No, what was that one? What did he say?
Look up the Skechers commercial. Pete Rose Skechers commercial. His wife has one line in it, and it's the funniest fucking thing ever.
Oh.
He's showing his new Skechers shoes, and he's walking in his house showing off his shoes. And then there's a line that she yells at him.
All right, Skechers Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Commercial. Video.
Yeah. Just play it, and it's like the audio it's funny as shit.
Come on, play. Keeps taking redirecting to other website. Unavailable. This video is private. All right. There's a bunch of shit like that coming up.
Well, so yeah, if you can't find it, he's walking through his house. And there's all these plaques on the wall, like of his his things he's done, and he's talking about his new shoes, and he's like these Skechers shape ups, and he's like he goes I haven't felt this young in years, and his wife is carrying a basket of laundry, and she goes, Pete, you're not allowed in the hall, and he goes, even at home, and then he walks into one of the rooms.
I do remember that. So
Pete, you're not allowed in the hall. Yeah.
All right. So he's not getting enough, love and support.
Yeah.
So Pete Rose is the greatest baseball player to ever live. Can I say that?
He's the greatest baseball player I ever got to witness play.
That
in my time,
generation has ever seen. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm AI in this shit.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't figure it out. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and if you don't think so, you are silly. I got to be polite so that AI won't kill me. Should this be country or rap or rock?
Country.
Country, definitely. Hype? Yeah, we're going to go hype. All right, create song. Well, this is for you.
Okay.
I spent... Not for you. This is for the ghost of
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. I spent all of 10 seconds on this for you, Mr. Rose. And maybe if there is an afterlife, you can come here to the studio where I'm sure you'd be in Vegas or something right now. Where would Pete Rose's ghost go?
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, probably Vegas. That's what I would say. So he can gamble on whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
But all right. This is it's uploading now. Come on. This song is called Pete Rose, Hall of Fame Hero.
Found a diamond with dirt on his hands. Single to right, he's the king of the stands. Winning hearts.
This is too country for me.
At a time. Peter Rose, oh man, he's one of a kind. Cincinnati cheers every crack of his back.
Cincinnati Reds, yeah.
Charlie Hustle sure knew where it's at.
She said Charlie Hustle, that's his nickname.
AI is fucking awesome.
So high. When Rose hit the field, you could hear the crowd cry. Pete Rose, the greatest we've seen. Should be in the hall. It's a crime, it's obscene.
Hell yeah, I wrote this shit. This is so crazy.
You surely must be blind, 'cause there ain't no player of a better kind.
All right.
Playing in the game with all that he's got.
All right, that's enough of this. Pete Rose, we'll put this on the website or something, so you the Facebook, so you can hear it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, this is
Charlie
scary.
Hustle, man. There is a clip of him from the All-Star game. Now think about this. At this time, the All-Star game meant nothing. It was literally just for show. Like there was a while in, I don't think they do it, they definitely don't do it anymore, but for a while they started making the All-Star game. So whichever league won, if American League won or National League won, they got home field advantage for the World Series. So then it did mean something. But back in the 70s, it meant nothing.
Yeah.
And he came into home plate about 3 feet off the ground, completely flat in the air like fucking Superman.
Really?
In a full fucking dive, took out the fucking catcher to score the run. Like, he played hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, he was just like, it didn't matter what the game was. He was going to fucking win.
Yeah. Well, he had money on it. So, of course, he's going to fucking win. But, all right. Well, rest in peace, all you people we talked about, because we'll be there soon. Not soon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, 40 years seems soon to me now because I'm way past that now. But, all right. Well.
You want to wrap it up?
I was going to do like a Jerry Springer's final thought here.
What you got?
Nothing. That's the problem. Jerry Springer, final thought music. I forgot to cue this up. And if anybody's still listening, you're seeing how much I play.
Metal Joe's still listening because he's still commenting.
All right. Well, Metal Joe, I got this final thought coming up for the whole show. I'm going to sum it up Jerry Springer style. And trust me, you'll be here. Well, God, this is the music. Fuck it. Hum me something. Play me.
I got nothing. Here,
Listen, the final thought. This program, we talked a lot about celebrities dying, but people that were celebrated and all that kind of stuff. And we talked about celebrities going crazy and doing things that destroys their life and people around them. But we also talked about one celebrity that went on a cruise and showed his titty. And that's the guy that has the purest heart. That's Metal Joe. And may we all be like Metal Joe, who just finds something that makes us so happy that we spend our life going after it and collecting it and experiencing it.
Yeah, that's I mean, dead nuts honest. Like, I'm not even saying this like just to be, nice or anything, but like when you see someone who has passion for something, I hate when people just shit on things just
to be shitters.
Just to be shitty.
Yeah.
When you see someone who finds something they're passionate about and just loves something because they love it, that's the greatest thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish more people, and I think a lot of people that are unhappy and that just shit on other things is because they don't have that.
Yeah.
If you find something you love and that you're passionate about, just fucking do it, man, and don't fucking make excuses to make other people fucking comfortable.
Yeah.
Just love what you love, do what you do,
Boom.
and be happy.
Exactly. And life is short. We had a huge. We haven't broadcast for like 3 weeks, and we had this huge list of people that have died. So, don't spend time trying to be something you're not. Just enjoy what you love.
Yeah. Well, and I got a song to play us out with. When we talk about Chris Christopherson,
I love my taint. Oh wait, we're not
I was a big fan of Chris Christopherson's songwriting because he wrote a lot of songs that became big hits for a lot of other people. So And he was in a lot of movies. You know, he was in the Hulk, the original Hulk movie with Eric Bana. Was it either that one or the Ed Norton one? But he was in one of those. He's in a lot of movies. He was in The Star Is Born with Barbra Streisand in the 70s. He made a lot of movies and became a movie star more so than a musician.
Wow.
But he wrote a ton of songs that were popular for a lot of people. And he's just one of those guys that just had the gift of being a great songwriter. And so the song I want to play, leaving the show, a lot of tributes have been done for this song, but this song was a #1 hit, and it was made popular by Janis Joplin in 1970.
Oh, yeah?
And he was the one who wrote it. It's a song called Me and Bobby McGee.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Christopherson, this is his version, his original recording of this song. And this is just a great song about being out on the road, and just back in the 70s and the late 60s, the hippies would just go out and just fucking travel the country and see the sights and, hitchhike, get there by any means necessary. And this song is about a couple and they don't have anything, but they got everything, you know?
If it sounds country, man, that's what it is. It's a country song. Yeah. Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Busted flat in Baton Rouge and heading for the trains. Feeling nearly faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before it rained. Took us all away to New Orleans.
His voice makes me want to take a nap.
Yeah.
I took my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana and was blowing sad while Bobby sang the blues. With them windshield wipers slapping time and Bobby clapping hands, we finally sang a velvet song that driver knew.
This line right here.
Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing ain't worth nothing, but it's free. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee.
All right, you've been listening to Pop Culture Radio. We'll see you guys again next week.
From the coal mines
Rest in peace, Chris Christopherson.
To the California sun, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul.
Owen and Dirt's Pop Culture Radio has been a Weird Florida production. Like and subscribe on Facebook and on YouTube and wherever else we might be. Find us, even if we don't know we're there yet.
Then somewhere near Salinas, Lord, I let her slip away, looking for the home I